All right, here we are discussing the CJI Oceania team trials, essentially.
Yeah, it's going to be a big event. There's some big names coming out of Australia and actually Asia as well. Looking forward to setting your team up.
Looking like, just as a tournament, probably the best I've seen in Australia. It's the name is pretty awesome. So yeah, we'll get into it. Actually, first we'll start with just who have we got so far for the team. 66 kilos, we have, not going to say yet. Okay.
I really wanted to say it. It's such a good name. The wild card.
So that's someone we could pick from anywhere in the world. 77, we've got Levi Jones-Leary. So as you saw at last CJI, clearly one of the best grapplers in the world. He's pretty good. Yeah.
He's pretty good, and he presents a style that's obviously hard to beat in the pit, as well as hard to submit, and also has crazy submissions.
Yeah. And then you've got 88. You've got Lucas Cannard, who we saw with the heel hook victory over Victor Hugo at last CJI. And I think he's not very well known internationally, but he is definitely one of the best in that division, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's been around the Australian circuit for as long as us, really. He just hasn't really been promoted to black belt yet.
How long has he been a brown belt?
I believe he's been a brown belt for 8 years.
There you go. And but yeah, he's so good. Like, honestly, I think he's going to be really good for the team. Pretty much impassable guard and amazing leg lock game, upper body submissions. He can mix it all together. So his guard's fantastic. Really, what we need now is the two heavyweight spots, the under 99 and the over 99. And I thought, why not do a trials for it instead of just, I always just think it is more fair if possible to run a trials to pick your athletes. And also you get to see who really wants it, for these events, you want people who are like very excited about it and willing to put it on the line to actually go in and compete.
100%, so, it's like the opportunity doesn't always arise, and because you're hosting a trials event, how could you not jump on it if you were like one of the bigger boys, even one of the smaller guys that thought they had a good shot against bigger body types?
And it's, I think it's going to be by far the biggest grappling event of this year. So,
I agree. I agree with the names that we have right in front of us. It's
not this. I mean the main CJI, but this will be the second biggest.
This is pretty big. I try and weigh myself up against every card, against every fighter on every card. And this is a scary.
It's a scary card.
List.
Yeah. All right. So let's go into. So first, how I wanted to run the actual. I thought about it. And I was like, well, what do we want for CJI? I want people who can, like, in the rule set, which is quintet, it's basically either a draw or you get a submission or you get submitted. So not every type of style of fighter is actually that useful for your team. Like someone who just kind of plays the points game, whilst you might be dominant, you really need to be able to finish. And on the other end, you need to be kind of hard to put away and hard to finish yourself. So thinking of that, and trying to run a trials, I was like, well, running a tournament style where you have points or whatever, it doesn't necessarily bring out like who's best at that rule set, because people can score points and they're often the people who might be really good at winning those sort of tournaments. What you want is a way of determining who's actually better at submitting. And you can't really run a tournament submission only style because you could be there for 3 days watching people fight. So we decided, I thought anyway, that a 6-man round robin, you get 6 people, they all fight each other, and whoever gets the most submissions gets to go. Obviously, if you get submitted, that takes off a point.
And there are 2 spots, correct?
There's 2 spots going there, under 99 and over 99. I thought put them together because we have these tournaments with like over 99, and it's a very thin division. Maybe the under 99 is just as competitive.
Weights, there's not too many people that are pretty athletic above a certain margin.
Yeah, so I wanted the under and over 99s in together. Let's see, maybe the under 99s can beat the over 99s. That's what we'll find out anyway. So
I mean, that's honestly the ideal rule set for the quintet team. If you got like the smaller guy to knock out like the bigger divisions for the other team, that's how you can succeed.
For sure. So we've got basically. So I said I want 6 people in this round robin. I said, well, I'm going to hand pick 5 of them, and then there's going to be a lot of people wanting to be in this, as we'll see. The last spot is going to be a tournament to get into that 6th spot for the round robin.
So effectively a trials for a trials.
Yeah.
The trials.
Yeah, the trials for that. So yeah, we've got a 16-man tournament. The winner of the 16-man tournament gets to join in the other 5 people in a 6-man round robin. They all fight each other, and basically the 2 top positions get to join the CJI team. But we need at least one of them to be able to make 99.
And this is going to be all on the same day, correct?
It looks like it. Yeah, I originally said May 10th, and then the next day will be the final, but we might do it all on May 10th because it's actually Mother's Day on the 11th. So we've got to look after that.
100%.
So the other thing I thought about in selecting, we're going to talk about how I selected these, or we kind of discussed it together actually, selecting these 5
favoritism.
Athletes. First of all, favoritism. There's a little bit of that for sure. Because first off, I wanted to, well, who's got the most credentials?
Yeah.
Like, who's got the best credentials to actually fit these spots? But then what if all of them were just wrestlers, Like
Which
sometimes
is a lot of the
people
trials
winning,
winners for the heavier divisions.
Exactly. You win the heavyweight trials, it's often you just like stand there and you collar tie someone until you win a decision by moving them around more. So I didn't want just that. I wanted at least 2 people who are going to pull guard. So I basically said, like, who are the best people who I think are going to wrestle? Like, let's get 3 of those and the best credentialed ones of that, and then the 2 best credentialed guard pullers.
Did you want to mention them now?
So let's go with So let's go first off. So our number, Declan Moody, he won trials at under 99, the first trials.
Yes.
And then he went on and got to the quarterfinal of the open weight at ADCC as well.
Yep.
I think submitted Pato. So yeah, he's an obvious choice to be in.
He submitted Diego Hayes.
Diego Hayes, sorry, not Pato.
Yeah,
sorry.
not Pato.
Yeah.
He's a well-accomplished grappler in Australia and in the global scene. Very good back takes, very good chokes, and he's just, because he used to be a smaller human, he plays guard as well as plays on top. So it's a dangerous person to have in the division for sure.
The next, Bob Frias. So
Thai Bob.
He's come second. He's won.
Yes.
Won the previous ADCC trials. He went to ADCC, and then in the most recent one, he came second. He's now getting heavier, so I think he's won it at 88 before. He's now competing in the 99.
Yeah, and he still competes gi and no-gi. He recently won, I think, it might even be AJP Worlds in the gi. Or he got silver in the division, I think gold in the Masters division, so yeah. Yeah,
this is going to be a tough one for anyone against. Alibi, he's from Kazakhstan.
Yep.
He came second. He got silver at the most recent trials at 99 kilos.
Yep.
He's going to be, I believe, flying down. Obviously, this is all pending visas, so things possibly could change with this lineup. But he's going to be excellent.
There's also possible change when people hear this. They might not want to do it. Who else is in the division?
Yeah. All right, so that's I think those 3 will probably be wrestling. I think
most likely I would say they would be the people that would find success from being on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we had to pick 2 people who are going to pull guard and submit. We actually someone who I really wanted, but unfortunately they had to pull out last minute, was the Fat Ninja.
Yes.
Igor Tanabe. He's actually he's never lost a grappling match according to BJJ Heroes.
At Black Ball or just in general?
According to BJJ Heroes, I haven't seen. There's no losses there. He submitted
He's the greatest
Jacob
of all time.
Couch. Submitted Jacob Couch, Tommy Langaka. He would have been awesome, but unfortunately, last moment he had to pull out. But we've got another guy from Japan coming. We'll talk about a little bit later. So unfortunately, he was in our top 5, but he's out. So then, someone who will pull guard and who's come 3rd at the last 2 trials, had a recent win over the silver medalist Anton Minenko as well, who would probably be next in line after on the wrestling side, I think, for the spot there, is Kaya.
Kaya Rudolph,
Yeah, he's been doing awesome. He's got great guard, really good leg locks.
He's actually very well rounded.
Can wrestle up really well.
Very, very well rounded, and you can tell from the training room that he finds success in most things he does, because he's trying new things, but he's also sharpening his best tools constantly.
So he's
young guy as well. Also
the most ridiculously flexible legs you'll ever see.
It's gross.
So
it's gross.
If you try and heel hook him, you'll see it doesn't work. And the next guy, so this is the one where this is the dark horse
of the division.
For
this
sure.
This is an exciting reveal, actually.
Yeah. So this is where I am being a bit biased. This is a guy who his best accomplishment is he came 5th at trials, which was roughly over a year ago now.
The Thailand one was March last year, about a year ago. Yeah.
A bit over a year ago. But you got to realize this guy has been training for 4 years in total. Belal, and he's come for a training trips. He's been here at the moment, and he's submitted everyone. He'd be the most scary to fight.
Strong dude that is also very, very bendy and very technical.
Yeah,
he ticks a lot of boxes. That's scary.
I won't give away too much of his game, but out of everyone, I'd be the most scared fighting Belal. He would be the most one.
Yeah. He's the one that could probably injure the most people in the division at the moment.
And I guarantee we'll see at least one submission. At the very least one. I'm worried that, we have this 6-man round robin and no one's missing him, but not with Belal in there.
He lives by the sword and dies by the sword.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So, all right, so there's our 5. Declan, Bob, Ali B, Kaya, and Belal.
Yeah.
Then we've got the 16-man tournament. We'll talk about this.
So the winner of this will get that 6th spot. So it's a big day for the next 16 gentlemen. Yeah.
All right, so we'll start out with, we'll go from the top, I guess, as we've got it written down. Josh Shipton.
Yeah, Josh Shipton, originally a judoka. Well, he actually trained jiu-jitsu at the same time, but he competed in judo, high-level judo.
He was selected from the Australian Institute of Sport. I think he was one of.
Was he?
I believe he was through this. Yeah. They did this thing where they screened a whole bunch of athletes for their athletic potential, how good of an athlete they were, and then they sort of tried to throw them into combat sports to see.
So he's a science experiment.
Basically.
He's a very, very good blue belt. Nah, he's a brown belt.
Yeah, but he's come from judo. Obviously, that means he's got great stand-up, but he's now taken full-time pretty much.
Well, his last win, he got a very good submission, so
nice.
and very quickly, so he's improving at a great rate too.
Yeah. Tito,
the milkman.
The milkman. Yeah, so this is another guy that was very close to being in that top. He's come 3rd at ADCC.
Yeah.
Before he had
he's been competing.
Questionable loss to Saunders, I thought, but it was a good match. He had a great match.
He ended up. Well, they went out of bounds, and there may have been points scored if they didn't go out of bounds, and then he had to take a risk when he was down on points and got submitted at the very last second of the match. But they had a great match. I thought that was one of the best match of of the day in Singapore. He's been competing since he was 7 years old.
I had food poisoning there whilst I was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, while that match was on,
I was
running in and out trying to watch it. Yeah.
Trying to watch it.
Okay, Tommy Gunn.
I believe his name is Thomas David.
David, yeah.
But he's ex-MMA fighter. I'm not sure if he's pursuing MMA anymore. He's from the Australian elite team, in incredible shape of an athlete. He's a super strong and jacked dude. Presents a very tough style. He's a game competitor. You always see him throwing 100% pretty much on the mats, training as well. I hear in training, but definitely on the competition mats.
Yeah, I remember. I think I first saw him at the Pan Pacific Championships, and my first thing was, wow, this is like a big guy that is moving like a little guy. He had the right postures. He had the right postures, right? You can just see someone's potential in their postures and their movement. And he had a recent win against Dan as well, which was so he's obviously right up there. He's in with a good shot. Harry Gretsch / Harry Kimura. That's all you have to say. The basically you have to talk about his Kimura.
Yeah, he's got a crazy grip and a crazy Kimura.
He will give his back.
And I will just say that he's also beaten Dan.
He's trying to make Dan regret not going in.
I'll throw shade into it.
Harry will give his back just to get a Kimura grip, and it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Even from there. If he can get a Kimura grip from anywhere, he's
got large hands, large surface area, strong dude. We'll say his most notable win is over me though.
Oh, okay.
It's a sore one. It's a sore one.
Anton Manenko. Again, this guy came second at trials. He's probably, as I said, he'd be next in line to take that wrestler's spot. I think I think so. If we need to fill that in the 5-man. So he's just been around for a long time and had a lot of success.
Yeah, he was an ex-rugby player, and made the switch to jiu-jitsu, I think, at purple belt. And yeah, he's just kind of always been around. He's always done well gi and no gi. And I think he's done some really good, or like some really big wins on the AJP circuit. He's got a win over Herbert Santos as well. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he does,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
he?
yeah.
Yeah. Josh Alsop.
Josh Alsop.
So he trains at AOJ a lot.
But now he owns a gym with Ari.
As well, yeah. So he's got like I guess he's got like he's getting bigger now. He's doing obviously jumping in the 99 kilo. I don't think he's quite 99 kilos, but he's kind of surrounded himself with sort of small leggy guard players. So he'd be an interesting matchup for some of the guard players in the division.
I think he definitely adds like the dynamic of like having a very good guard in this division.
Yeah.
He might, like, I think he'll find his success if he can get to like the dominant positions from playing guard. But yeah, he definitely, I think, is undersized. But I think he can find a lot of success. He's also won a lot of things in the past. He's
double gold at Handpicked
similar
and
to
brown belt.
similar to like a Canard scenario where he's been a brown belt for a long time.
Yeah, but he's trains a lot with the likes of Tynan Dolper, and I think they actually train together quite regularly when he's there.
Those middle heavyweights,
yeah,
sort of size, yeah.
Duke Didier.
Duke Didier, very large man. Also, I believe he like won the Oceanic Games for judo. Like
he was a high-level judo guy. I remember.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll want me sharing this, but because I did the physiotherapy for the Australian judo team for a little while, and we went on like actually this might have been in Australia, but Duke, I think he threw a guy and then armbarred him, and they stopped the match in the armbar and stood him back up, and he went on a big rage.
I've seen him rage at Perfect.
So I think they banned him for like a year or something.
Yeah, right.
He was like which I think from what I saw of that was probably rightfully so.
Yeah. I've seen him throw down a lot over the years, and he like typically finds a lot of success on the mats too. Just hard guy to deal with. He's just a large human being with very good takedowns. We actually have quite a lot of judokas
open weight
list.
Open weight black belt Pan Pacific champion as well. So
Pan Pacific. I think Nogi as well.
Yeah. Pan Pacific's our biggest comp we really have in Australia. So yeah, he's another one to watch. Urosh.
He has an interesting style. So he's super bendy, but he's also like pretty big.
Do you think he'll play guard, or do you think he'll?
Look, I think his success will come from his guard. Whether he chooses that or not is up to him. But I think his guard is better than his wrestling. No offense to him, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Harry Kassar. So this is the third place at the Commonwealth Games.
I think a dark horse on this.
Dark horse, yeah. A big guy too. Very big.
A big guy. He's an SNC coach as well as like a Commonwealth game. I think he was in the Olympics too for judo.
He might have been in the
Olympics. I think he made the Olympic team.
Third in Commonwealth Games.
I believe he went to the Olympics for judo.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I remember seeing him in the blazer.
Yeah, he trains out at Peninsula, and he's good. He's a dark horse for sure.
He's good. He's good. Super powerful dude.
Alex Hunga.
So this guy's probably the biggest person that we have, I think.
We've got one more.
We have one more surprise that maybe is bigger, but I believe Alex is the biggest person in the card. He's just a giant island dude. I believe he's a black belt from AET as well. He might not be a black belt, but he's definitely from AET. And he actually almost beat Tito in a super fight about a year ago.
Right, okay.
He just, Tito went to pull guard, and Alex just stayed in side control for a long time. It just could not be moved.
All right. Next one, Josh Schofield.
Josh Schofield. I do know Josh. He was here maybe towards the end of last year. He's a very nice guy. Has surprising strength and power. I would say he'd be one of the smaller people here too, but surprisingly strong, surprisingly powerful. Just coming off a super fight win over a Gracie Barra brown belt in Sydney, who I think is very good. But yeah, Josh has some power to his footlocks.
Okay, looking forward to that.
I think a guard guy as well.
He's going to pull?
I would assume so.
Okay, good.
I think that's how, if I was to coach him, that's what I'd say he should do.
Matthew Oxenham. So this is a guy, obviously I don't know too much about. He messaged me. He said, I came 5th at Commonwealth Games for wrestling. He's from New Zealand. He wanted in. He said he's been training grappling and just started competing in grappling. So I said, let's go for it. Let's get a high-level wrestler in as well. We've got some good judokas. We'll get some wrestling. got some guard pullers, some rest,
it's a good balance.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good balance.
And the wrestlers are going to always be a problem for the big guys who. Some of the big guys, they don't have that much of a guard. You know, like if you put them on their back, they can have issues. So a wrestler's going to be a problem for someone with that particular style. So a lot of the big guys now are getting quite well rounded. But yeah.
I think if you can like frustrate the guarder pretty well as a good wrestler, you'll start to see the chinks in the armor, and that's typically how like you can find those gaps.
Yeah. Larry.
His Instagram handle is Young Black and Sexy. It's an incredible name. So Larry, MMA fighter that fights out of Absolute MMA, no bias. He's a very large human.
What do you reckon he weighs?
He's either 125 or 130 kilos. So he's a big man. Has success in MMA. He is actually fighting quite soon.
Yeah.
Which I think he's fighting in the next couple of weeks.
He's fighting the week before this. So
okay,
right.
Let's hope he's all good.
Yeah.
Right. Also like just a hard person to deal with in general. He's
not
only is he a really big dude, but he's very quick for his size as well.
Yeah, again, especially actually I think no one's gonna be excited about fighting Larry.
No.
Because if you're a wrestler and you got to try and take him down, that's going to be horrible. And if you're a guard player, that's a heavy man to move. If you
I've rolled with him before, and I can't get my legs around him.
So it'll be interesting. All right, and then we've got so that's 3 to go in the 16-man, and we've got 3 lightweight, like 77 kilo people who have put and they're all very good, who have put their name up.
They're all very, very good.
The first one is actually the most accomplished person we have in this whole tournament.
Yes.
I just didn't put them in the 5 only because they're 77 kilos. Otherwise, they'd be in the top 5.
Yeah, he's
by far
He has the most credentials on this page that we're looking at. Kenta Iwamoto.
Yes.
He's probably the most well-rounded person in the division too. He's good off his back. He has good wrestle ups. He's a good wrestler. Knows how to game the system well, and he knows how to take people's backs and choke them. So
3 times ADCC trials winner.
Yep. 66 once and 77 twice.
Yeah. Told me he's weighing 82 kilos now, so I said start eating. I don't know if I see him getting submitted. Maybe. I actually
don't think I've ever really seen him get submitted. So,
Mika Galbao got him. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
that
he had to try very hard. Though. Yeah, if you watch that match, Kenta was very hard to submit, and I think Kenta's biggest challenge will be because he's kind of short and stocky. It kind of limits some of the options you've got to actually submit some of the bigger guys. You know, it's hard to hold someone's back.
Right? If someone's that's 82 kilos is fighting someone that's potentially 130 kilos.
Holding the back is difficult.
It presents
leg locks are obviously there, and he can leg lock. He's got good leg locks, so Burak Salman. So this guy probably one of the best performances I've seen, that Pan Pax, where he submitted Bob Frias. So he submitted everyone that day. And I think his matches were like
he had a very short amount of time.
Open weight
competing.
His weight and open weight in the Pan Pacific Championships.
He's
Burak when he's sharp,
he can be some of the
submission game, especially for submissions.
Best,
he's like
he can be one of the best performers on the mat for sure. He actually recently had a very good match against Jonathan Gracie, who's very, very good.
Yeah.
Arguable decision that Jonathan won, but I think Burak, he has the ability to submit most people.
Yeah, so. He could really surprise some people. Or maybe not even surprise, just show what he can do. Yeah.
Just don't blink.
And then Siraj
Sufi.
He's jumping in as well. So Siraj came second at trial. He lost to Kenta maybe 3 years ago in the finals of the trials.
Sydney. 3-4 years ago,
and we've been training. We've seen the improvements that Siraj has made over the last couple of years as well. So I
actually haven't seen him lose really in recent years. So like across Australia at least. Youthful guy, has a lot of energy. He really brings the heat in every round.
He's got. He's another one that's quite dangerous, top and bottom, and he's quick, and his timing is very good. You know, he's very good at sort of playing loose, and then suddenly.
I think his strategy is his best tool. He's very good at figuring it out.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So that makes our full list. That obviously there's a bunch of people that applied that didn't make this list. I'm going to keep your names there because undoubtedly with these things, people get injured or things change, so you might be getting a call up. So just keep your inbox open, I guess. And it's tough. Mostly we just went by like, what are the credentials? There were some people who hadn't really competed in a major event like an ADCC trials or anything before, or hadn't had any credentials in there. So it's hard to know where to put you when you get a list of people.
I mean, there were
like
also
this
people
to
that
go
we
to.
thought that would sign up for this and they didn't. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Did you want to talk about that?
Oh, we can. Yeah, look. Yeah. So I mean, there was a couple. Obviously, like, there was 3 ones that I really would have liked to see in there. There was Nicholas McLegic. He's the guy's been training his whole life.
Yep.
To win GI Worlds, and it's 3 weeks after this event, so it's fair enough. He's keeping that his priority. Obviously, Schwart and Saunders, they've got their own.
They've got their
issues
reasons.
with
They've got their reasons, but they would have been so good to have on this event. Like I feel like going into a quintet team with someone like Saunders would bring you quite a lot of confidence.
For sure,
He's a very good and large human being.
For sure,
that,
he's
fits
done
the criteria quite well.
4th in his division at ADCC, so he's right up there with the heavyweights.
Was he the only Australian to do that in division male last year?
Sorry?
He was the only Australian male to do that, right? Obviously
to
Del Juan, but to the second day.
To the second day, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you consider CJI with Craig. That's
True.
Right.
Yeah.
With Levi.
Yeah.
That's quite different, but yeah. And then the other person, like Seb Atta, Ben Hodge, Jeremy, there's some people that would have been good to have down there. These guys are all overseas at the moment, so it's tricky to get out here. So
they've got their own commitments, and understandable, and maybe they've got stuff going on and sickness, injury. Hopefully they're all right, but yeah.
But still, this is, to me, the most stacked division I've seen in a tournament in Australia, so I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.